get all set up here. Okay, it says we're live, but I am not sure.
You're not
Oh,
sure?
we're all crooked too. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
I hope you can see us. If you can see us, please say hi, so we know
thumbs
you're
up.
there. Yeah, give us something. Give us something. We're excited. This is like an impromptu live video that we want to share some thoughts.
On things and the ramblings again of the Ludovicis in their house, their kids, and general topics in the kitchen.
Yeah, okay. Oh, someone can see us. Hi, Krista. Hey, guys, if you're just jumping on. You guys tell us where you're watching from. And can you hear us okay? Okay,
That'd be a good
we don't want
start.
to take too long. Let's just, jump right in.
Well, I would like to know if they, can you
Well,
hear
I
me?
mean, I think they can because there's people on, so clearly they've got to be able to see
Good
us.
deal.
Okay, so we are going to talk to you guys today about sugar.
Ooh, why sugar?
Well, I had no idea just how big of an issue this was. So I started doing a little research, and honestly, we've had some feedback over, our journey. People asking, what do you guys do? What is your diet? Just different things. I'm just starting my weight loss journey. Like, what can I focus on? And I think the biggest thing that everybody can focus on, whether you're trying to lose weight or you want to be healthy or you're on a fitness journey, whatever it is, the biggest, most important thing that you can do to get started is cut out sugar from your diet.
Nobody really actually understands because we get flooded by every marketing tool possible, and it's
And it's added in everything.
Yeah, and the fact that it's enjoyable and it's stimulating to the body, it's easily discreditable.
Because we're like shaking.
Okay, fine.
We're doing a new setup here, guys. So forgive us. Okay, carry on.
So, sugar. Sugar is probably the most easiest thing to. It's in everything, but most people. What? So I hear all the time, guys. I eat right. I'm exercising. I'm doing everything right, and I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah.
And sugar is the biggest problem. It's one of the things that we shouldn't really have. Our body needs it, but it needs it in small amounts.
Yeah. So, and what prompted this, the other day we were at a basketball game and I'd given Noah some money and he was going to run to the concession stand and get something to drink. And he comes back with a grape Fanta. So Daniel got a strawberry one just so that we could show you. And I didn't think much of it. I'm like, I don't normally let the kids have a lot of soda or anything like that. But I thought, okay, it's just one, no big deal. Well, a little bit later, he comes back with another one. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, whoa, give me that right now. So I grabbed the label.
But hold on, you have to describe his reaction because he thought that he had made a great choice.
Yeah, because it was grape.
It was juice.
Yeah.
It was
grape
juice.
It wasn't a Coke. It wasn't, anything like that. So when I said, hey, give me that and let me see it. Guys, this one bottle has 74 grams of sugar. Yeah. 74 grams. So I'm telling him, no, oh my God, that's got 70 grams of sugar. Do you know how many teaspoons of sugar are in one can of soda? Mm-hmm. And we looked it up. I've measured it out. Do you see this? Almost a half a cup. This is 17 teaspoons of sugar.
And it's not a joke. So this is in this. Literally,
ridiculous.
It's not that big a deal. It's not that big a deal.
Oh.
But it is a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yep.
And this.
Wow. So hear this. With a half a cup of sugar, do you know the daily recommended dose for an adult male is 9 teaspoons or 36 grams of sugar. For a female, 5 to 6 teaspoons is 20 grams of sugar. For a child, 3 teaspoons or 12 grams of sugar. This has 74.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
And that doesn't count. Yeah, that's just one thing.
This is just one. This is the daily.
Yeah. So like we wanted people to actually like be conscientious of what they're doing. That doesn't include the cereal they might have had for breakfast or the waffles or whatever it is they have. Yeah. The ridiculous stuff they give them at school.
Anything.
Yeah, literally all of it. So the idea that you're only allowed to have 36 grams and 12 for a child, like our youngest is 9.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, he's only allowed to have 12 grams of sugar. That's what the body needs. That's all that's really necessary to function at your best.
So what happens when they consume something like this?
For one, it's so easy and enjoyable. That's the biggest problem. Is you don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
But what really happens on internal way of the body, guys, it's very simple. You know, right now you've got a lot of you probably understand like on a diabetic way, but there's so much more to it. So what happens when you ingest sugar? Your body has to do something with it. What happens is your pancreas and liver produce insulin. You guys are all familiar with insulin. Insulin is necessary. It's the only mechanism in the body that transfers and allows sugar to do one or two things. It's only got two options. Yep. One is to be used and turned into glucose and turned into energy for fuel. Yeah. Or only one other option, to be stored later.
Ew, no.
Later for energy. And that the only way it can do that is to store it as fat. Okay. So you're giving your body as two options. One, again, use it
or store
it.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, we have 50-50 odds. But the great news is we're in control. So another couple things that it does, guys, is
it causes inflammation.
Yeah. And
definitely. That's a leading cause of a lot of illnesses that we don't even think about. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Inflammation causes so much pain, swelling.
Yeah.
Come on, scientists.
Well, I was going to go back to where I was, where I was getting at. So at that point, you take in all the sugar. Your body has two ways of doing it. So you have, if you store it. So anyway, hold on. Blah, 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 blah. So number one, you have to have it. Did you know that your brain, it's the only source of energy, is glucose, is sugar. And it uses more than any other organ in the body. So right then, so what happens when we have, how do you want to say it?
Too much sugar.
Too much sugar, I guess so, yeah. I'm losing my train of thought. Damn it.
Come on, honey. See how very impromptu this is.
Yeah, definitely.
So in your brain, when you have too much sugar, your brain has receptors kind of like the same receptors that are triggered by alcohol or drug use, street drugs. And gram for gram, sugar triggers those receptors in your brain almost exactly the same as drugs. So like really think about that. When you're allowing your kids to consume too much of this, like would you give your kids alcohol? Would you give them drugs? No. Yeah. But by allowing them to have too much, it's triggering the same addictive response in the brain. Yeah. So sugar technically it's very addictive.
Well, yeah, and
so whereas you used to just have like a little bit of sugar to get you going and kind of feel that craving. And how many people do we know that have a sweet tooth? We hear it all the time. Oh, I have a sweet tooth and I can't seem to break it, because you have a little bit and then you trigger those responses in your brain, and then you have to have a little bit more. You build up a tolerance just like you do to alcohol. True. So that's huge, and I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Well, and there's a couple other major things, and I'm not going to get too scientific or anything. That's why I'm fishing for words, because I don't want to. It doesn't do any good to talk scientific, really. But what happens is when you have too much insulin, right? And it goes up and down. So the idea is you want to keep things at a constant pace, a good level, things that your body can control it. You wouldn't believe some of the actual chemical responses that happen in your body when you have high blood sugar or too low blood sugar. When you have too low blood sugar, and the reason you would have low is because once you ingest so much sugar, it shoots a ton of insulin to move it around. But what that does is then you have a low blood sugar because you crash, right? Things do like this. And so there's a lot of other chemical responses in your brain that happens when you dip down.
He's Italian and he talks with his hands and he's like shaking the table.
So, the other chemical responses that happen in the body you wouldn't believe are when you crash, or anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Depression.
Yes.
And that sounds ridiculous, but it's a chemical response in the brain. Those are not like things that you can control. Like, oh, I'm going to eat this sugar, but I promise I'm not going to have mood swings. Or one of the other things is that when you have low blood sugar after crashing, one of the biggest things is headaches. And I hear all the time, and so we have a health and wellness company, and one of the biggest things I hear from so many people one of the biggest things is I have headaches all the time.
Yeah, and they don't know why
and
they have it.
Two things. One is like dehydration, because that's stressful on the cells of your body. Mm-hmm. But then this crash of sugar and a flood of insulin, it literally it's the cause of, like I said, so many other things. Why? Because it's releasing, and I'm not going to go down this road, but so many other chemical and hormonal responses.
Yeah.
Your body is trying to do what it can to get back into regulation, but it's fighting and working so hard. So I mean, you wouldn't believe the things that we live through every day, and we don't realize that it's the main cause was this simple too much sugar in the body.
What you're putting in
and
your
all
mouth.
of that can be controllable.
Yeah.
You know.
And I know a lot of people that drink soda on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. That say that they have headaches. As we were talking about that, I immediately thought of someone, and I'm going to call you after this, girl, because we got to talk about that. But she had been saying for years she's had headaches, like migraines, debilitating headaches, and it could be like, cut out the soda. And even too, I learned that even Diet Cokes, that kind of sugar has the same, it triggers the same response in your body as regular sugar. So if you are on a diet or trying to eat clean and you want to lose weight, but you're still having some kind of diet soda, I'm going to challenge you to cut out all soda, carbonated, anything. Like, cut it out of your diet and see how much better you feel.
It's the simplest way of starting off. And you can kind of feel and judge on how you feel and things you notice. But I do want to let you guys know that things take time in the body. You got to remember there's a billion different things happening at once. Physical, chemical, hormonal, all these different things happening. So things take time. So many people that I talk to and work with, they say that I cut it out for, 7 days, but I didn't notice anything. Well,
it took a lot longer to build up that.
Yeah, it took usually months and years to get the body into the situation that it was in, and it's going to take time to get back into regulation. And you also have to remember that the body is one of the most incredible machines on this planet ever. It's perfect in its own right, and it has its correction, almost responses. It's like a flight or fight mode in the body. So you don't, and I wanted to share it because I want people to think about it in a different way. Not like, oh, it's just this one little thing.
Yeah.
But that one little thing is causing thousands of things to go on in the body. And it's going to take time because of that flight or fight mode in your brain. It needs to know that it's going to have balance. It needs to know that it's, today I'm only going to have this. Today it's only going to have this. So the body can respond accordingly. But again, it takes a few weeks for the brain to realize and feel comfortable again that it's not going to have to fight for its life to move all this sugar around in the body. Yeah. Is the way I would probably put it.
That's good. I know I learned this year by I cut out all alcohol, zero, like nope, not even vodka, nothing. I'm like, I'm done, I'm going to give it up. And consistently giving that up, my body's not having to break it down to process. The liver's not having to go through all that. Mm-hmm. I cut out a lot of sugar. So I have maintained my weight so much better. Gains in the gym, like all kinds of things, just by cutting out sugar and alcohol. And for years I battled like up and down, yo-yo, that kind of thing. But so I have seen firsthand what your body will do to kind of correct itself and restore itself. Mm-hmm. And I can see people commenting, but my phone's too far away. I know. So now we talked earlier, and everybody on here probably knows that we are both thrivers. We've been thriving now for 4.5 years, just premium grade, raw nutrition. And we absolutely love it. We do it every single day. But you had mentioned that there was a certain ingredient in the product that helps
Chromium.
Chromium.
Yeah, it's a mineral. It's a trace element.
Yes. And that helps to regulate your blood sugar.
Yep.
So I think that is huge. And I'm sure there are many other thrivers. If you're thriving, please put a comment in how it has helped you. But
and that's just one little thing. And like I have a lot of stuff on the top of my brain, but I was like kind of looking for some specific things too. When I actually came across the chromium and how it functions in the body, I just looked. I was like, wow. You know, I'm so glad that we have that in the Thrive experience too, because it's a big factor. Even that little tiny thing. Yeah. So I don't want to go on too long because I know these can, you don't want to sit here forever. But one of the biggest things, we have 3 kids, and a lot of you know that already. They're 18, 15, and 9. And so right now with kids, okay, their body again and the brain is super, super smart. So and it remembers and it builds and it wants regularity. It wants consistency. And it just wants to be working easy at a nice level pace. It's super, super important for all of us to watch the sugar intake of our children. They have smaller bodies. Yeah. They're little people. They don't need as much as we do. And I'm almost willing to bet almost everybody here that if you were to watch your child every day and think about it cognitively, you would be blown away. Like, give yourself one day to watch your children and yourself and actually write down the amount of sugars you have in a day. And take that day. You've already been doing it. We've all been doing it for so long. Take that one day and actually look at it. Put it in paper. Make it a physical form so you can see the reality. Because it's easy to put it in and forget about it. Eat it, move on, justify it in your head.
Attention. Like, I know looking at this, I wouldn't know. Like,
but really quick, one of the biggest things for children and adults, but mostly in children because they're still developing everything, is the fact that it really, having these spikes in hormones, it affects their cognitive abilities, their anxiety. Have you ever noticed, like we were saying, if we give Noah too big a bowl of cereal or something in the morning, and then we expect him to do 1 through 10 to get ready from school.
He can't do it. He's like a squirrel.
He's all over the place. Yeah. And that's even with a child that living in this household has a generally good diet. But again, we know they're not bodybuilders like us that so I let them be kids, but at the same token, I can directly see the change in my son. And
the behaviors.
Absolutely. Yeah. And what he eats. And it's if you just pay attention for a little, it's a direct correlation. So it's super, super important. And you have to think, the biggest thing is I want you to think about it as, and I hate to say it this way, but almost as a drug. Because in your body, it's not sugar. It just goes and attaches to the nerve receptors, right? Just like anything else. And so it attaches, and then your body releases different hormones to handle the situation. And so, again, like I said, it causes so many things of all this fight and stuff in your body. Depression, right? Because your hormones are not regulated because it's trying to filter out the most important thing in your body. Because, again, your body only uses glucose for energy. Your fats, your carbohydrates from any source, your body converts it all to glucose because really on the inside that's all it can use. But again, these simple sugars, like I said, too much of it, the system can't handle it. And so we wonder why we don't sleep well. Things can't be regulated. Even our moods are hormonal, just like everything else. So a lot of it, guys, it's just surprising to you. And I promise you, a lot of these everyday things that are affecting us every day are literally a hormonal response to sugar.
Put in your mouth. Yep.
To sugar.
Yeah.
It really is.
I was really blown away by everything that sugar does in your body. Not even just for the inside, but for the outside too. Like, if it responds, like causes inflammation in your body, that's in your skin too. Sure. That can cause like wrinkles, collagen breakdown. Hello, ladies. We don't want to get wrinkly. Take care of yourself. Drink water. Give up the soda.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, one last thing I want to talk about. How I listened to this documentary of how this guy went on, I think it was like 18 days of a like today's society diet. He ate everything low fat, no fat, or organic. Everything with stickers on it, like you see the stickers. Like, this is so like ridiculous. 100% natural flavors. Like, it looks like, oh, that's a good thing. Caffeine free. Just 270 calories per bottle, which calories are not the same. Like chicken breast and broccoli, you can have 270 calories, the same as this, but they're not equal. Contains no juice, like strawberry Fanta, 100% natural flavors, but contains no juice. Like, what the heck is it then? So the labels of what you see of everything healthy, do you know that if something says low fat, no fat, sugar free, they are adding so many other chemicals and preservatives to make that food taste good and to help the shelf life.
Yeah. And just
so
remember,
it's actually even worse for you. The guy ended up gaining I don't know, 8-10 pounds within 18 days. And had a bloated belly, like a beer belly. Soda will do the same thing. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. So I think you have to be careful. Like, do your research on, like, no fat, low fat, things like that, or just sugar in general. And then I think healthy sugar substitutions, if you want to cut it out, honey is probably the best
That's
thing.
one thing we could share.
Yeah, honey.
Through, like, diet prep for bodybuilding and stuff, I had to find little ways because it's difficult to... you
want a sweet tooth.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah. And so, we can kind of throw in some of the things that I did just to have something a little sweet that my body didn't have to work so hard to break down. Because literally, guys, I would have probably at 10 to 12 grams of sugar every single day. That's it. That's across the board.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, and and I'm trying to live a real life, and that's what everyone wants to enjoy their food and enjoy their day. It's a big part of our life. But so a couple things that I did. Number one is there's a Kerry sugar-free syrup. I would make my oatmeal in the morning, and I would put maybe like a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of sugar-free syrup. Yeah. Gave it a great taste on it. Of course, I drink teas and coffees and stuff, and so I'll use a packet of stevia. And like I said, a little bit. Is that perfect? No, it's sucralose and. But
that's a good form. The stevia is a good form of.
Yeah. And so what we're talking about is not this perfect diet. It's literally
it won't be perfect.
Really wanted to share some of the adverse effects of too much. Yeah. Okay. And some of the simple things that it can do to enhance your life, enhance your daily activities, from all the way, like I said, from your moods, how you feel, how you sleep, how your body works on the inside. Guys, if it is working constantly to defend what you've put in, it's running out of energy and everything you need to do everything else in the day. It's working too hard. It is literally stress on your nervous system trying to combat and move sugar around in the body. So think about it. Watch yourself for a couple of days. And the biggest thing, please watch after our children. Yes. Watch after our children. Our lives, we're behavioral patterns, we're habitual human beings, we're habitual people. Just about everything we do is a habit of some sort. We have to be careful with our children because, like I said, the body is going to do its best to adapt. And if our children are for years and years used to so much stuff, by the time they're 15, 16, 17, and 18 years old,
diabetes and
we have harmed our children in such a way that you can't necessarily see. Our only outside source is, like I said, their behavioral patterns and weight gain. Yeah. And we've let that be okay in today's society, that it's normal.
They consider it a treat. Giving candy or like...
Yeah, but it's so important. If we raise our children and we send them off at 18, 19, 20 years old to college or off to their own, did we do our job? Did we give them the best chance possible to be the best human being that they can do, or that they can be? One of the biggest things is how their body functions. Yep. And one of the biggest factors is sugar.
Yeah. Sugar.
Yeah.
Good job, Daniel. Yeah. So that's that. We just wanted to share that. So now a little challenge. If you are on, if you want to get healthy, if you want to feel better, if you want more energy, I want to challenge you for 30 days. And look, New Year's is coming. People have New Year's resolutions. The number one thing on everybody's list is to lose weight and get healthy. So don't wait till New Year's. Like, start right now. Give yourself 30 days and just see for yourself, what is my body going to feel like if I cut out the crap? Cut out sugar for 30 days, and then I want to hear how you do. We want to hear your results. So that is our challenge to you.
Yeah. And if you have
I
questions,
hope this added some.
If you have questions, because come through a lot, message me. You can get, ask me, whatever, call me.
Yeah. Daniel's very scientific. He knows the breakdown. He starts talking, and I'm like, can you dumb it down for me? Because I don't know all those big words.
I want to be a study of how I get one body.
You're a student.
I want to understand how it works. And I was surprised on the little personal things that I found.
Yeah.
That it's really intriguing, and I feel, for so many years, the way I was raised in a big Italian family, it's not something we talked about.
No.
It was all about how enjoyable was the meal.
Yeah. How good did it taste?
Yeah, and it's caused so much. It took me a long time to get this way. So I personally wanted to study. I wanted to understand why did this happen? Why are all these, outcomes and circumstances happening? And
you gotta know.
Oh, yeah.
So that's that. So I hope this helped a little bit, and you guys please let us know in the comments how you do, what your thoughts are, and if you have cut out sugar, what it's done for you, and that's that.
And you can take these with you. I'm going to throw them in the trash.
Too.
Well, that's another one. I bought this one too for just because this is what everybody drinks.
Yeah.
Not just this I won't drink that, I won't drink that. But there's a Sprite. Seriously.
Yeah, Sprite, you're like caffeine free,
one bottle,
not so bad.
64 grams of, I don't know.
64 grams of sugar.
But seriously.
That's crazy.
I'm not fibbing.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's not good. Your body, in one dose, in one time, your body can't handle this.
It's going to take days for your body to process.
There is no argument.
All the sugar in that.
This is not my opinion. This is science that your body cannot handle this in one time. It can't.
And most people, like I see some with like the Route 44, like the giant.
Oh yeah, the gas station.
They taste so good, and they fill them up, and you get free refills. Like, how many of those do you drink a day? How long does it take your body to filter this?
Yeah, and by no means am I saying never.
Keep going.
Yeah, but I am. Okay.
We're gonna get better at that. We sometimes ramble.
I'm a good rambler.
You are an excellent rambler.
It even takes sometimes my brain to get going a little bit.
That's okay. It's okay. There you go.
So,
Okay, guys.
All right, guys. You have a good Sunday.
Bye, guys.